Whenever I'm here at our Shar Cemetery and I walk by these two monuments, I think about how special they are to our congregation, to our history. The one here was erected in memory of the soldiers who died in World War II. It was a group of parents whose sons never came home and who wanted a grave to go to mourn their children's passing, and this monument is in their memory. And the one over here is to the memory of the 6 million who were murdered in the Holocaust. These are places of memory, and they're so important to our congregation's history. This weekend, we will mark Tisha B'Av. It's a day of memory. Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, actually falls on Shabbat this year, but we push the fast off until after Shabbat. And so as Shabbat ends, we will greet the day of Tisha B'Av. We'll be sitting on those low Shiva chairs in our chapel. We'll be reading the book of Eicha, the book of Lamentations. We'll be sad. We'll be hearing those words, Eicha yashva badad, ha'ir abati am hayita ke'almana. We'll be saying that Jerusalem was alone, that the people of Israel were exiled. And we'll be thinking not only of the destruction of both temples in Jerusalem, but also the exile of the Jewish people from so many lands throughout our history, the suffering of pogroms and massacres. I don't have to tell you. There is a lot of memory in this day of Tisha B'Av. But the way we mark this day is not like this. We don't come to a place. We won't stand at a monument. We mark it with words and prayers and songs. We'll mark it by being together and telling stories of our people throughout history. We mark our memories through actions. And that's the most effective way to remember. As many of you know, I'm an avid fan of Broadway musicals, and even at a time like this, even on a sad day, I'm thinking of a very particular musical. It's Hamilton. And I'm thinking of that last song in the musical, which talks about memory. After his passing, it is all the people who knew Hamilton who are there to remember him. And the song, which is called Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story, is all about how Hamilton is remembered. And we hear Madison and Washington and Jefferson, all of the people who admired his work, his rivals even, talking about what they remember about his life. And then we hear Eliza, his wife, talking about monuments, actually. She mentions the Washington Monument, which she was very instrumental in erecting. But the song focuses on her actions, on her deeds. Towards the end of the song, she sings about the orphanage. The orphanage, the first private orphanage in New York City, she sings, that she started in his memory. Of course, he was an orphan. And she says, I get to raise them, I get to see the children growing up, and in their eyes, I see you, Alexander. And I can't help but think it's so Jewish, because the way we remember is through action. Yes, we sometimes erect monuments, it's the best we can do. But I know that even to remember these individuals that we remember in stone, we also remember in deeds. We remember through doing good deeds, mitzvot, in their memory. That's what we do on Tisha B'Av as well. We think about not just how to remember the bad times, but how to make it better now. How to be kind to one another, how to rebuild what was lost. It's all about Bein Adam L'Chaveiro, about caring for one another. The reason the Beit HaMikdash, the temple, was destroyed was because Jews couldn't get along with other Jews. What are we doing about that today? How are we telling that story? How are we putting our memory into action, into deeds? That's the way that we can most effectively remember the tragedies of Tisha B'Av, is by making the world better. And making the world better starts with you and me and the people with which we share our lives, the people we live with, the people we work with. That's the way to remember. And that's the way to ensure a better Tisha B'Av in our future. I wish you comfort. I wish you Shabbat Shalom, an easy fast for those who will be able to fast. And I wish all of us peace.
And when my time is up, have I done enough? Will they tell your story? Oh, can I show you what I'm proudest of? The orphanage. I established the first private orphanage in New York City. The orphanage. I helped raise hundreds of children. I get to see them growing up. The orphanage. In their eyes I see you, Alexander. I see you every time. And when my time is up, have I done enough? Will they tell your story? Oh, I can't wait to see you again. It's only a matter of time. Will they tell your story? Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? Will they tell your story? Who lives, who dies, who tells your story?